Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. We have the Fokoos. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. Anyways, read the label in the box. I don't know. I can't pronounce it. Anyways, this is an RGB light strip, model Fs51. Yeah, I got that right reading it in the camera. Cool. Anyways, so my wife got a set of these from a company, Amazon seller, to review, and of course she gave them to me because she really didn't have a use for them, so I could use them in the studio here. So the top row is actually the original set, and I found the same exact set via her link, of course, in her video. So if you want to check out what she had to say about them as well, you can. Her channel is Susan Millard, and I'll have the link below in the video description so you can just click right on her video. But anyways, so I bought a set for myself and thought, well, I can do my own review too, right? Anyway, so you got about 16 colors, comes with this cool little remote. Now, each set, of course, comes with a remote. They'll also come with a proper power supply, DC power supply, that plugs into a little connector box Dewey. And the one end of the LED strip is actually soldered on there, so you can't just like disconnect it. So if it ever does break, it is repairable actually, because I had to do a repair job on the set I got off her. I had it too close to the light switch and I keep flicking it, and I have a little bit of excess hanging down, and as a result of that, of course, I broke the thing. So I actually took one of the joiner loops that they give you, cut it, and I soldered that onto the board. If you're good at soldering, you can fix it. If you're not good, then just buy another set, because they don't cost that much. Anyways, so I've got the two sensors literally attached to each other now, because I have the second set, and I actually ended up with a little bit of excess, about this much extra, and that was fine. So you just snip off where it says the cut line. That's one thing I want to actually show you, since I've got this extra strip real handy here. And using the joiner connectors, you only need to use them if where you're attaching these, you actually require to be able to do that. Like if you look right at the corner at the very top, you see the little hoops sticking up, one on the top, one on the bottom. That's a joiner. So I actually had to cut it in order to use the joiner to do that. And this is actually one half of the joiner that was from the other one that I cut to repair the connection point at the box. So, but otherwise you have an end piece like this on each end. You usually get one or two joiners with them. I believe we only got one joiner with this package. But anyhow, so here's the excess amount of strip. Now you'll notice it has a cut line, okay? When it says the black line, they're not kidding. Right on that black line. You can do this with some very sharp scissors, or you can use an X-Acto knife. Just make sure you go dead straight as possible anyways, because you need to be able to connect this into the connector. And well, we're here. I'll show you actually how to do that. So the end piece here, it's got a little clip, and you open it up and you'll see that the wires are obviously color coded, so blue to blue, right? So if you look on your strip and you find the blue is going to be over here, okay? And you just have to stick it on like this onto the connector piece. Just kind of hold it in there nice and straight. And we can do this right. And then you just clip it over. It's a little finicky to get it just right in there, but once you get it and you clip it inside and the clip locks, it'll stay locked. This one, of course, I've got one other thing is this blue strip will prevent you from locking the key. That blue strip protects the adhesive, okay, so you're gonna have to pull a little bit of that out of the way in order to get the lock to clip and lock in place. That little micro thinness of plastic, go figure, it's just enough to throw it off. But you have to make sure that, where it says blue on here, you go to blue here, and then you'll automatically be properly lined up and away you go. So, but anyways, a little finicky, but can be done. But this was my little bit of excess from mine, so I have a strip that I can have some fun with actually. But anyways, we'll do some experimenting and come up with some kind of little LED strip for something down the road. So as far as the lights go, though, I've got them both on the white setting right now, and if you buy the exact same brand, you'll end up with a lot of spare remotes, okay? If you're in the same room with the lights. Like what I'm doing here is I've got a set on the top, set on the bottom. I put the sensors beside each other. Regardless, it wouldn't matter. One remote rules them all. So I can actually go through here. I want red, and I can have red and white if I point it right, or I can have both reds, okay? Because just a little off shift is enough, because this is a line of sight kind of remote, okay? So you can alternate things, okay? And then we got green, and we've got blue, and we got other little variants of colors of all of these. So there's about 16 basically. And then we have different flashing modes. We have flash. And the next one on the list is, they call it strobe. And then we have fade. So it'll fade through all of its colors. And then the last one is called smooth. And like I said, you can have it alternate if you point the remote the right way. You can have one doing one thing, one doing another. It's kind of entirely up to you how you want to do it. But if you want to have a little disco party in your room, go ahead. It's kind of fun. But anyway, so reasonably bright. I wouldn't say they're bright enough to completely light up the room entirely the way I would see it being done, but I'm not worried about lighting up the entire room. I more wanted it to accent my wall board where all my guitars hang. I'm still working on LED lights. I actually found some 70 watters that are multicolored that have one of these remotes as well. Then, because I've got these 3 up top that I just got from the dollar store a few days back, did a review on them. They're just definitely not bright enough even on their white setting. They're nice on the red, green, and blue, which is what they're set at now, and it's kind of hard to see that in the camera because the other lights blind it, but we can do that too. We can just shut these off. So we got red, green, and blue. And that's actually an interesting one too, is to get them to go independent colors. We'll talk about this in the next video more in depth though. But if you jam the sensor right up to the actual bulb one at a time, and you can alternate your colors that way, and it's kind of tricky too, but it works. But anyways, so these are good for accent lighting, especially for what I'm doing. If you were going to try and light up a room, like I have a drop ceiling in here, which would be absolutely perfect. I could go LED crazy. I'd need like about 100-foot roll, I think, to do the entire ceiling. But that would definitely light up the entire room without any issue whatsoever. But for just, 16 feet top, 16 feet bottom, I got 32 feet worth of LEDs basically, minus the little bit of excess, which isn't much. So basically I've got about 30 feet altogether. Works really well for the purpose, okay? The LEDs don't get hot, so you don't have to worry. You can leave these things running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Definitely is going to save on your hydro bill quite a lot. So if you are even, setting up a room in the house where you want to have just this kind of an LED system going, strip it across the ceilings, whatever, and have whatever kind of setup you want, you could do that sort of thing as well. And, LEDs use hardly anything for juice. So again, big, huge hydro savings. We are slowly switching everything over LED, because the LEDs are just as good as incandescent bulbs. They tend to last a lot longer, and having the ability to change colors on some of them is really cool, or you can get just straight bright white ones. I've got some of those still. I have smart bulbs that are actually really super bright, but they're really big and clunky. And the other problem is when my hydro goes out, they don't tend to like to reset themselves on the program that easily. So it's kind of like this sort of thing works better. It's just like, hey, I don't care if the hydro goes out. I can turn it off, I can turn it on, doesn't matter, nothing to worry about. Smart tech has its great points to it, don't get me wrong. We have a house full of smart tech that runs everything from computers and whatnot, but we also like to have some manual stuff as well in life that's not smart tech per se. Anyway, so also check the link for these on Amazon where I got them. I'll have that link as well, so if you're interested in the 16 footers, fine. If not, they do have larger, so not a big deal, and tons of Amazon sellers sell these in different lengths and setup kit styles and power source systems, etc., etc. These I find are really good because there is an actual separate power supply brick. Basically, it's just a wall art that plugs right into the wall direct, kind of something like this, but way smaller, and you know, it's white. They're definitely worthwhile and definitely worth the money too. I bought some stuff at Walmart. I think it's a 12 footer, and it cost me a lot more money for that one. Mind you, it's completely waterproof and all this, but it wasn't that long in comparison to this, and I paid way more money. So it's kind of a, you know, but if you want something on the fly in an emergency, go to Walmart, you know, spend a little bit more money, still get them. They do sell similar stuff to this at Walmart, but again, you're going to pay a lot more money. Amazon is actually the cheaper place, so there you go. Anyways, let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know what you think of these LEDs. I really like them, and I like the fact that one remote can rule them all, at least in this particular brand. Same as these Electro things, right? These Electro ones from the dollar store, the bulbs. One remote rules them all, right, of that brand without a problem. So you end up with spare remotes, which is not a problem either. So, because eventually these can, you know, wear out, or maybe the dog eats it, or your kid breaks it. Keep the spare ones in a drawer type of thing, right? Anyways, till next time, see ya.